saying that, okay, it's more advanced, but then the stupidity got more advanced. Like, if you're a drug dealer, why the hell would you put pounds of weed on your Instagram?
Yeah.
That's just stupid. Why would you put guns on your Instagram and you know you going to shoot people and all that? So yes, but it's the same thing. We used the phone and got arrested. They're using the phone and getting arrested. So the pot can't call the kettle black. It's about empowering. But see, that's the thing. In order to reach our youth, we cannot act like we're better than them, and we're just so much smarter than them, and they're so stupid. And that's why they don't connect with the older generation.
All right, so you're qualified to answer this question. You're also very intellectual.
Let me just say, I want you to ask me the question, but I wanted to finish off of what I was saying. Because a lot of people don't understand this, right? The youth, a lot of these young kids are products of crack. The youth, the kids that's 25 today, their parents was crackheads in the 90s. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm going to get to my point. The reason why the youth don't respect the elders so much is because when that little boy was 5 years old and they was walking through the neighborhood with their mother, they seen the older guys trying to sell their mother crack. Ma, I got nickels, I got dimes, I got this, I got that. Or they might have seen their mother buy crack from them. So now, when their mother got so strung out, their grandmothers had to watch them. So now the grandmothers is tired. They already raised their child. Now they got to raise their child's child. So the child is more inclined to get in trouble and do other things that they're not supposed to do because the grandmother can't chase them around. So now when they get older and they get into power, they remember the guys. Like, oh, that's that old motherfucker that sold my mother crack and sold my auntie crack. So they look at the people like, you messed up my life. So they have no respect for them. So it's like it's the revenge of the crack babies. Mm. You see what I'm saying? So they have no respect because they see these was the same people that sold my mother drugs. And then they are still, a lot of them are still on the avenues trying to sell drugs. So now imagine if you was a youngster.
The revenge of the crack babies.
Exactly. But imagine if you was a youngster and you trying to sell drugs now, and the guy that sold your mother crack is still on the block and don't want to let you have the block now. They want to keep it for themselves, but they should really have a job and be done with it. But they're still trying to run the block. So now that's where they don't have no respect for them. Mm. And I'm just talking some street stuff.
Yeah.
But that's where that gets tangled in that.
See, what I'm trying to figure out is if we stay on this street conversation, right? I'm trying to figure out, I get people that join my business pretty often that came from the streets, right? And sometimes they got locked up, but they was dealing, right? For drug dealing. Mm-hmm. Drug dealing, what it takes to be a halfway successful drug dealer has a lot of the same qualities that it would take to be an extremely successful business person.
Of course.
Let's say, like, what are some of the similarities in your opinion? Where, like, why don't we see it? Because the drug game, for the most part, it's not profitable, especially when you calculate the risk that it's going to take. If you get caught, or if you're going to need lawyer fees, if you're going to, you have to look over your back, the neighborhood that you have to live in. Right?
It's
not worth it.
It depends on the scale that you're selling drugs on. See.
So let's start at the bottom. The bottom. Okay.
If you're starting at the bottom, first of all, you're probably working for somebody. So if you're starting at the bottom, you just like getting packages from somebody. Somebody might give you 100 dimes, which is $1,000, and tell you to take $200 and give them back 800. So you at the lowest, form of hustling. So that's the bottom. So yeah, the risk ain't worth the reward, but you don't have enough money or power to even get into that position to give people packages. So that's like the lowest level of it.
Okay.
Then you have the next level where you controlling the block. Like, okay, I'm giving the packages out for the boss. So, that takes you have to sell packages first to get to that level. Then when you get to the next level, if you're buying product, now it becomes like how you said, if you could run a business. Now that's about profit margins, losses, and maintaining your money. So say for instance, if you made $20,000, so now you say, all right, I'm gonna purchase $20,000 worth of drugs, and it should get you $40,000 or $50,000. After you pay everybody, and if you have $40,000, the smart businessman might invest the whole 40.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have some drug dealers that's not smart that want to spend money on jewelry, cars, and all of that, and might just invest $10,000 or mess their money up. So it's just like business. The strong survive and the smart survive.
But when is it smart to go on the bottom level? See, I think, I don't know how long it would take to get rid of, like your example was somebody give you 100 packs or whatever, and then that equates to $1,000. You give them 800, and then you keep 200 for yourself. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking that's going to take longer than a couple of days to get rid of.
No. On my block, that might have took 3 hours.
Ah, okay. So that may make.
Yeah. Oh no, drugs is a lucrative business at the time I was selling drugs. It's not like that today, but back in the days, you can make 10, 15,000 a day on a block.
But not at the bottom.
I mean, you can make. Just say if you made somebody 15,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1,500 G packs. So if you got 200 off of each pack, that's almost what? 10 packs is 2,000. Then another 5 is 1,000. So you made $3,000 that day.
Damn.
Yeah, at the lowest level you can make money, but at the end of the day, it's still your freedom being risked, and it's not worth it. But that was at the height of the drug era. That's not today. It's not even nowhere near worth it today. Now, like how you said, it might take days in today's market. I would never know, but at the end of the day, it's a dumb game to be in today.
Right. What's a cool replacement for selling drugs but could put the same amount of money in your
pocket? I would say you can purchase merchandise. You can purchase stocks. You might not make as much money. You're never going to make drugs is probably the fastest money you're going to make. So there's no alternative for that. But the thing is, for how long? You see what I'm saying? You can be making money fast, but then you got a RICO indictment around the corner, and you might be risking 30 years of your life, or you might be risking. It's so many factors to the streets. You have the police you got to look out for. You got to look out for the jack boys. You got to look out for the women. You got to look out for the beggars. It entangles a lot. It's a big umbrella to be successful in the drug game. You have to take care of a lot of people. You have to empower a lot of people. Like if you're a big drug dealer, you got to have killers with you. So now you have to pay them. You can't be just in the street without protection if you're making large amounts of money, because they will come for you. So at the end of the day, if you are risking all of that in today's climate, it's just not worth it. So what I would tell somebody is like I tell anybody, find out what you're good at and invest your time in that. And today it's better to just have a job and be a family man than to just be outside hustling.
But when you were dealing drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Were you ever did you ever think like, I could get caught eventually? Like, I may go to jail for this. Did you ever I always wonder, like, do you think about this, like the fear?
I got a large amount of arrests. Like, first I got arrested, I got parole. So probation. So I finished my 5 years probation. Then I got arrested 2 times in a month, and I ended up going up north to jail. So I did time for it. But when I was hustling, of course, drug dealers are the most paranoid people. You're scared to use the phone. You're scared to talk around people. You're scared. You don't know who to trust. Because normally in the street, when something happens to you, it's normally somebody that knows you. Because drug dealers are so secretive and so they so paranoid that no one knows what they're doing except for a chosen few. So when something happens to them, it's that chosen few. So you're always mindful of that. So it's a stressful occupation, and it's just not worth it. Like, at the end of the day, you put so much on the line you don't get back in return what you put into it. So it's like the time that you spend doing that, you could actually invest that time into something else, especially in today. But back when I was hustling, and I didn't see another alternative. So it was like I had to go through that just to see that there was another alternative.
So it was there, but the other alternatives were there. You just didn't see it. Like all you saw when you looked up was hustlers.
I wasn't educated to know that there was another alternative. Like when I was young, I wanted to be like the big drug dealers. Like, that's what I wanted to be like. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't the only young person that was like that. My whole neighborhood was like that. We wanted to just be like the guys with the big jewelry on, the flashy chains, the pretty women, and the nice clothes. So we didn't know about the alternatives. All we saw was the Cosby Show. You know what I'm saying? So that was like out of reach to us, because in the neighborhood, they have you programmed to think that the white man is holding us down and this is all we could do, which is really not true. But if you're growing up thinking that and you're constantly told that, then you're just going to do what everybody else does. So, it's like when I was young, I liked to play basketball. So I didn't start out selling drugs. I started out playing basketball and stuff like that.
Were you nice at playing ball?
Yeah, I was pretty good. I wouldn't say I was nice. I was pretty good. I was a good player, but one thing, like what I learned today, and I didn't know back then, like if I would have practiced and dedicated my life to basketball, I would have been nice. But at the same token, children need motivation. And that's where your parents come in at. And that's why, like, with my children, I support everything they do, and I'm always there for whatever they do as far as sports or extracurricular activities, because whatever sticks with them, I'm there to support them. And when I was a child and I was playing basketball, I didn't have that support, so I gave up on it, and then that's what made me choose a life of crime. So 9 times out of 10, the kids that's choosing these lives of crime doesn't have the support of their household.
Looking back in hindsight, though, what do you think T-Money could have done as an alternate that would have been just as profitable, just as cool, and may have influenced